Is gambling a sin?
There's a tremendous tie in the Bible between work and money.
You know how many people you can impact with $50,000?
If you're going to be lazy, son of a gun, and not work, then you're not going to eat.
I would believe in God if he gives me money.
The house wins, the home loses.
I've ran into people particularly I had a coworker when I was 18 that didn't believe in God, hated when I brought up Jesus, but would say, I would believe in God if he gives me money. But he was always a bad steward of his money. And so I would be like, man, like that's like the total opposite of the spectrum of what you think someone who has a money problem. It's like you always think the guy with a lot of money has the money problem. But then I'm like, Mitch might have had a problem when I was 18, but that's interesting. But something that he had a problem with in particular was he would tell me to split our tips at lunch, and we still had 6 more hours of work left, and I could keep whatever else came in that 6 hours so that he could go buy a scratch-off ticket from across the street. And so this kind of enters into the realm of gambling, and I wanted to ask you guys about gambling. Is gambling a sin?
Yes, gambling is a sin. Why? It's trivializing money. You can worship money, and that's wrong, but you can also trivialize it. Why is gambling trivializing money? Because you're playing with money as an object, as a thing. Money represents work done. Hopefully work done well and work done honestly. God gave us the ability to work. God gave us the ability to make money, and one of the 10 commandments is, you shall not steal. You're going to respect a person enough to respect their property, to respect their money, and not steal from them. So when you respect God and when you respect people, you will respect the possessions, the money that another person has. And work leads to making money, and that is good. We're to work hard, and that's why Paul writes, if you don't work, you're not going to eat, guys. We're not just going to have handouts that the church is going to get involved in. If you're going to be lazy, son of a gun, and not work, then you're not going to eat. So there's a tremendous tie in the Bible between work and money. And that's why I'm convinced that gambling is wrong. Also, gambling is a horrible example of taking advantage of the poor, taking advantage of the uneducated. Not only that, when you study people who gamble, it becomes clear that it leads to domestic violence. When a lot of guys bet on a ball game or an NFL game, and they lose, their team loses. The way domestic violence rises as these men can't handle their anger because their team lost a ball game and they take it out on their wife and kids. That is absolutely tragic. So no, gambling is sin, it's wrong, and I would encourage anybody to repent and to turn away from gambling.
You just told just about every single Gen Zer that they are sinning currely right now.
Yeah, anyone that's got a Prize Picks bet on the Knicks game coming up, exactly. You guys are cooked right now. So I got some more hypotheticals. The reason that it's on my mind is because me and Dylan were talking about it driving over here just about for like 30 minutes in the car, and we're making up all these hypothetical scenarios. So I'm about to just fire them off because I think it's interesting. Imagine going home, 8 of your buddies playing poker, $10 buy-in just for fun, for the sake of like hanging around. Is that sinful? Of like 8 dudes around the table, you guys haven't seen each other in a while, and it's like we just want to hang out and chat, and we just want to do something, so we're gonna play a round of poker, $10 buy-in. Like, is that still sinful in regards to?
I personally believe it's the high stakes and consistency that is sinful. I would say once in a while, once in a blue moon kind of thing, if it's low stakes and you're not really abusing that money, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's similar to alcohol. Alcoholism is in the DSM, right? Drinking a sip of alcohol or having 1 beer once a week is not in the DSM. Gambling addiction is in the DSM. That's high stakes gambling, which forms addictions, which poisons money. But the question becomes, you're beginning that kernel, that root with alcohol, but especially with gambling. Do you see a difference between the two?
Well, I think you made a great connection between alcohol and gambling. Obviously, Jesus drank wine. Obviously, he turned large drums of water into wine. He was the life of the party in John chapter 2, but he stood against drunkenness. And so the type of playing around that you were talking about, Bryce, no, I don't think that's a sin, right? But it's really under control. But I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Look at our culture. Look at the casinos. Look at the amount of money that is being gambled. Please don't tell me that we don't have a gambling problem in our country. I mean, it is incredible the amount of money that was gambled in the NFL, in the NBA, you throw a game, you pay players to do wrong things in order that you can make more money gambling. You just go to the casinos and watch these guys come out, the homeless people, the low-income people trying to make the big hit and get out of poverty. I mean, you were talking some serious, serious problems. But no, the type of little, all right, we're all going to play a little game around a table. And
What about casting lots?
what about casting lots?
It seems like it's tied to gambling in some ways.
Casting lots in the Old Testament was clearly within the context of we are trusting God to guide us. We're not sure what to do. And so, Lord, be in control of these lots that we're casting. I think that's radically different from I'm going to trust Mother Luck and I'm just going to cast lots. And Mother Luck or Father Luck is going to be what I follow. I think there's a difference there.
All right, another hypothetical. This is the opposite end of the extreme. Seasoned world championship poker player. All right? Like insanely good at poker. We're talking playing in the world championship of poker, does it professionally, is playing against people. It's like the kind of guy that you don't want to come over to the private little hangout. Like just insanely good is competitive poker player. I don't know. I know I'm throwing a hypothetical, but this is just how we were talking in the car. We're like, what about, okay, here's the real example we gave. A Dana White, for example. Absolutely just thoroughly wealthy guy. So for him, maybe playing $50,000 a hand to him is like nothing. But when we're talking about it in the car, I'm like $50,000, do you know how many people you could impact with $50,000? Like that's pretty crazy. Or you could, use it in a different way, or maybe pay for your kid's college or something. But you play. I don't know. We just use the example. Is it bad if a seasoned poker player or a really, really wealthy guy, that to him, $50,000, $100,000 is like the dollar bill you leave in your pocket that falls out in the washing machine? Is it like, Is that sinful because it's high stakes according to that idea? Or?
That's the whole problem with looking at somebody with serious wealth, because the wealthy are always the ones who are resenting the poor, and the poor are always the ones being jealous towards the wealthy. And so it's so easy to look at somebody in a mansion and say, oh, clearly that person's not giving away. But percentage-wise, like you're saying with the Dana White, percentage-wise, they could be giving away way more than you even, and you don't even realize it, even though you think, no, that's impossible. Look how big the house is. So that's why you have to be careful, I think, with Jesus and Zacchaeus, clearly. Jesus did not tell him, and he did not give away all of his money. It was a very high percentage, but it was not all of his money. So that's why I think it's a good question. But for me, it comes down to a heart motive. Just like when we're called to be generous, to give away, it's not about the 10%, it's where the heart is, ultimately. Are you a joyful giver, or are you giving out of obligation? And it's just like the woman with the 2 mite, right? It was not the amount, it was the motive within the heart and the sacrifice to give everything. Yeah. So I don't think the percentage is necessarily the important one. I think it's more the heart issue.
Come on, guys, let's be honest. I hope nobody in this room or watching honestly thinks that the reason that these casinos are springing up all over the place is because people don't make a bunch of money off of them. Come on. Guys, when it comes to gambling, the house wins and the home loses.
That's true.
The house wins. These guys who put these casinos together are not dumb. They're into making money, guys.
Yeah, literally one of the MGM Grand looks like a pyramid. And it's like, who built the pyramids? We don't know. Who built them? We don't know. Yeah, if you own a casino that looks like a pyramid, you got to be rolling in it. And I think actually, I'm like just diving into conspiracy right now. I think Vegas's police is like privately funded by the casinos too, which is actually insane. Like, how is it even possible? They got to be raking it in.
Raking it in, guys.
If you were funding the police, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was it.
But when you study how the home loses and the house wins, what you realize is families that are financially hurting get hurt more. And men get addicted to gambling, and they're abusive husbands, abusive fathers. It is scary what's happening. And of course, we sweep that all under the rug. But when you look at the statistics and at what happens, it is horrendous. It's destructive.